Welcome everyone to Yarn Over With Us podcast, episode 55. Today's yarn is about a dream, a dyer, and a make-along. So grab something to drink in your favorite project and yarn over with us.
And I said, you have just made my day.
Well, hello, and we are so glad that you are joining us on episode number 55. And we have got a great episode for you today. And I am Susie Lanier, and I am from Huntsville, Alabama. And if you are new to our show today, in the comments, how about putting where you're from? And you can find us on Ravelry, and you also can find us on Instagram. Both locations, Yarn Over With Us. Welcome.
Yes, welcome. And believe it or not, we are actually on TikTok. Why are we on TikTok? Because, well, apparently some of you are on TikTok. So look us up on TikTok and you can follow us there as well. And we do have the Yarn Over With Us website, which we'll mention more about that later. But that's where you will sign up for your emails to get some information about our Zooms that we have every month and, well, other information. So,
and Linda, while we're talking about all of that, go ahead and like this episode. Go ahead and comment as soon as possible and subscribe, because of course that does help our channel, and it's a free way for you to help us out.
Oh yeah, and we're supposed to ask for that other thing. It's the hype. Hype us.
Oh yeah.
I think hype is like giving us 15 likes or something. I don't know, but I think it's just another measure that Google's using to see if the yarn community is involved and people like it. So anyway, if you want to hype us, thank you. Go ahead and do that. So, today's episode is going to be really, really fun. We're going to have a special guest in just a few minutes. And really it started with a dream, Susie. So you want to talk about our dream?
Well, we have loved meeting dyers, and we have loved, wait a minute, is this the dream you want me to talk about? I'm thinking, which dream did I talk about?
Well, I don't know. What other dreams do you have?
I have lots of dreams. I'm thinking, which dream?
Well, the dream of a colorway.
Okay, I want to make sure I'm dreaming about the right thing. I mean, it's like, I dream about a lot of stuff, and I'm thinking, well, which dream?
Yes, the dream.
You kind of caught me off guard. It's like,
I'm sorry.
Which dream am I talking about?
Yeah, the colorway. Yes, we get Carolyn in. Okay, anyway.
Okay, well, let's do that again.
Okay, well, I'm putting that in there.
Oh, Lord, don't do that.
Okay, go ahead.
So let me push back just a little bit. So for many, many years, I have learned about dyers, and I've learned about fiber, and I've learned so much about what goes into the whole integration of from sheep to being in our hands and us knitting or crocheting. And so Linda and I have talked a lot about, wouldn't it be fun if we had a dyer that would actually dye yarn that would be named our podcast and maybe named after us, that would be kind of parallel, or would be parallel to us. And so
since we can't do it ourselves,
we can't. We're not dyers.
We're incapable.
And we're not going to do that ourselves. And so actually our dream has come true, and you get to be a part of the dream today. You get to hear the dream. And so that is, that's pretty neat, Linda, because it's wonderful when dreams do come true. I had someone to tell me one time that dreams are the pregnancy to reality, and they really are. So we have been pregnant with this dream for a while.
So,
and
we have
baby. We're birthing.
Yes,
the
we're
baby.
birthing the baby, and Carolyn Edgar has made a big splash in the dye pool, if you will. So let's introduce Carolyn Edgar from Swan City Yarns. Hey!
Hey, Carolyn.
Could you hear all that?
Yes, I could.
So you meant that we have birthed the baby.
We birthed the baby.
You delivered the baby.
The baby, yeah. Oh my goodness. Well, welcome, Carolyn. So most people probably already know Carolyn because number one, she has a podcast every Friday, and I try to catch them as often as possible. But she also shows up at really probably every yarn event east of the Mississippi. So you have been a busy, busy lady. So,
And
so
that's
first
how
of all,
we met Carolyn and
yeah.
Bobby.
Because she's
how
at
we
all
met
the
y'all.
functions. Well, and to back up a little bit, so last year in August, she was at the Southern Comfort Fiber
Market.
Festival. Market. Okay.
Market.
And she was probably like the second or third. I don't know. You were really close to the beginning. And my Sarah, we took her, my little yarn virgin, to see her first yarn show. And she ends up over at your booth, Carolyn.
Okay.
Go for it.
Wait, am I talking?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm not taking a picture. Okay.
This is your first.
Okay. I would like to buy these, please.
Okay,
sir.
yes, ma'am.
He's assured me that they'll look great.
This is her very first.
And I'm gonna make that cool.
And what is that yarn made out of?
I don't know.
What is it? It is. What is the yarn? What is the yarn?
So it is Stargazer, which, if you didn't know, Stargazer is a rainbow song when Ronnie James Dio sang for Rainbow, but Carolyn didn't know that when she named it. And then Santa's Acid Trip.
Oh, it's merino. Yeah, perfect.
That's perfect for a hat.
Yeah, it's merino and DK. There you go.
Yeah, it's cool. Okay. Okay.
And your husband was showing her the hat, and she was just
The
like so
muscle
wowed by the
burra
hat,
Yeah.
which she
The
still hasn't
muscle
made, but she
burra.
bought the yarn to do it, so maybe she'll be inspired. So that was kind of the first time we really met you,
Yes.
and we can thank Bo for that somewhat because he was standing there with that
Yes.
cool hat.
He's really good at meeting people, and yeah. He's very,
Yeah. So how long have you had your business, your yarn dyeing business?
well, let's see. So I've been dyeing yarn for almost 10 years now, but I started Swan City Yarns in November of 24. So it'll be 2 years in November.
Wow. You've
So
come a
you've
long
been
way,
dyeing-
baby.
Wait a minute. Let's go back to that. You've been dyeing yarn for how long?
Almost 10 years, since 2017.
Wow.
Mhm.
Did you just dye
So
it like
what
for
were-
yourself?
No, I had another partner. I was part of a business, and then eventually just that went away, and started Swan City Yarns by myself. Yeah.
Oh, how fun. What made you want to dye yarn?
You know, I think let's see, gosh, ooh, you're getting into a long time ago. So I think I had
We want all the nitty gritties.
all the nitty
Give us
gritty
the
that,
nitty gritty.
You could just say I'm artsy.
well, you know, that I'm really not. Here's the thing. I started knitting. I taught myself to knit just not that long before I started dyeing yarn. Met up with a friend, an old coworker of mine, and found we had kind of lost touch with each other, but found out that in the interim, she and I had both learned to knit. And so we were like, oh, we should knit the same pattern, not even knowing that there were such things as knit-alongs. Like we basically did our
Oh,
own unofficial
wow.
knit-along and didn't even
Sure.
know who we were. And we weren't really even out in, like, I had no idea there were fiber festivals and all that stuff, but it just so happens that both of us we tend to be very enterprising sorts. I mean, I love a challenge. I'm always learning new things,
Yep.
doing new things, always got a side hustle of some sort going on. I just can't help myself. So anyway, between the two of us, we decided that we would love to have something to do, you know, business related, having to do with yarn, but I was homeschooling at the time. And I remember,
Really? We all homeschooled.
oh, that's awesome. Yes,
We
I
did.
did. So, but because of that, we couldn't have a brick and mortar. So we decided, all right, let's do some things that we can sell. We'll have like an Etsy shop or something like that. So we started out with yarn bowls, I think some stitch markers, some project bags. And then she had the bright idea of we should dye yarn. first time we decided to dye yarn. It was like we looked at the yarn in the pot and the dye that we had, and she's like, "Okay, you first." And I'm like, "No, you first." Like, we didn't even know what we didn't know at that point. But over time, we started dyeing yarn, and I discovered I really had a knack for it. And not just a knack for it, but dyeing yarn, you've got to be kind of organized and disciplined, because it helps if you'll write down recipes and things like that. And I was the one who had a knack for it. And so I took over that part of it. And she ended up being my business partner for a long time. And she did all the other stuff as far as like, customer service, shipping, and all that. So I would dye the yarn, and then she would ship it out. And so that's how it came about. And I started in the kitchen, of course, but that gets old, because I would take all my pots and dishes out of the kitchen so that nothing, you didn't have all that mixed up. And then when I was done, I'd have to clean it up real good and then put it all back. So after, I don't even know how long it was, I told my husband, I said, "Okay, this is getting serious. We're going to have a dye studio." So we closed in the back lanai, and I have a dye studio.
Oh, nice.
Wow.
That's perfect.
That's awesome.
Oh, yeah. And I think you shared with me, I don't know if you want people to know this, and I'll delete it if you don't, because I'm really impressed by this fact, that you take all of your gear and your yarn in an SUV to these shows.
Yeah.
How? I mean, I'm looking back there. I'm like, I guess they can smush. How do you fit all that in your car?
Well,
Because you have quite a display. You bring a lot of yarn. It's impressive.
Yeah. And so we have a full-sized SUV, so that helps. But, and that is one of the things that's kind of, I mentioned to my husband, because as I was growing the business, my first couple of shows, I didn't have all that much inventory. And so it wasn't a big deal. But, one of the things you learn doing these festivals is that the more inventory you have, the more you're going to sell. That's just all there is to it. In fact, I had one, another dyer who has years more experience than I do. And he made the comment at one festival. He said, "You'll never sell more than 40% of what you bring." And I don't know if that's true or not. I've had some shows where I'm pretty sure I sold at least 40%, if not more. But there are other shows, especially as I've built my inventory, I do realize, yes, the more inventory you have, the more you're going to sell. That's just how it is.
Go.
So we are at a point where it's kind of like I'm having to sometimes limit the amount of yarn I can take, just because we only have so much room in the car. So
Wow.
That's exciting.
Well, you dye beautiful yarn.
Beautiful yarn.
So let's now get into our dream.
Well, wait a minute. I do have a question.
Oh.
Where did the name Swan City Yarns come from? How did you choose that name?
I love it.
The town I live in, Lakeland, Florida, is known as Swan City, because back in the 50s, Queen Elizabeth gifted the town a pair of swans as a kind of like a sister type thing. And the city since then has just really taken off with it. We have we actually have live swans. There's Lake Morton that's known for where all the swans are. Yep. And then there's lots of swan statues around the city. So you see there's a lot of businesses like Swan City Brewing and, a lot. And so I just decided, there's not a Swan City Yarns. It's kind of a natural fit. So why not?
I love it.
If people want
to
remember your name and where you're from, Swans on the Lake. Yes. Swan City Yarns in Lakeland, Florida, with Carolyn Edgar.
How fun. How fun. So
right,
let's talk about the yarn. Grand reveal. Here's the colorway.
Do you want to talk a little bit about how it came to be or anything like that? You just want me to show it? What do you want?
Well, we can talk a little bit about it. Linda has, when we were thinking about the color, we thought, well, the two colors that kind of define me and Linda, is I'm red, and I didn't really mean for this to happen, but I just love red, and everybody sees me in my red glasses. So red kind of is my color, and then Linda, your color is
blue. I just love blue, especially turquoise. And I love turquoise. I told my husband he doesn't need to really give me diamonds. Just give me turquoise. Give me all the jewelry Ella Langley has.
And so
She's
that was-
amazing turquoise and blue.
That's kind of what we told
Denim.
Carolyn. You know, we told her those are the two colors.
Our logo.
Go with it.
Yeah.
Yep. Go
Which
with
is in
it
our
with those
logo.
two colors.
Yeah. So Linda
Yeah.
reached out to me and said, would you be willing to dye a colorway based on the logo? And I said, sure. So this dun 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 is what I came up with.
Oh, it's
Oh,
so
we love it.
beautiful. And it's got the denim going on, which I pretty much live in jeans. Oh, I love it
We love
so
it.
much.
That is us. That is
Yeah,
us.
so I made sure that I took that turquoise
Oh.
from the logo and the red. That
Oh.
is, it's definitely more of an orangey
Oh.
red of Susie's glasses. And so yeah, there you go.
I love it. It is beautiful. It is
We
just
are
beautiful.
in love with it.
I know. I know. When she sent us the picture, I looked at it like every hour.
Oh,
And then I sent it, of course, to my husband, and he's like in these manufacturing plants, and but he gave me a thumbs up, I'm like, it's like I love it so much.
Yep.
It's beautiful. You did a perfect job.
It is
You did a
absolutely beautiful.
perfect job. So now we are not selling the yarn. This is just about our Makealong, and just about our logo. So the main color will be called
yarn over
Yarn.
with us. Yep. Just like, since
And-
that's what y'all say.
Yep. Yarn over with us. And then the red is going to be called.
Susie's glasses.
I love it so much. Susie's glasses. And then the blue.
Which is Linda's fave. Here
Linda's
we go.
fave. I
Now
love
you'll
blue.
notice I went lighter with the blue and the red just a little bit, because I thought if people wanted to do color work or as a sock set, because you can get Susie's glasses and Linda's fave in minis. So if you're doing a pair of socks and want to do your heel, toe, cuff in alternating.
Don't make me the heel.
alternate colors, you'll see
The heel.
that there will be
the heel of the bread.
I don't. The big toe. Oh, that's so cute. I love it. So, all right. So let's talk about. We're going to get to the Makealong later, but let's talk about purchasing the yarn. Well, maybe we should talk about the Makealong. I don't know. Which order should we do this?
Well,
Y'all
let's
are
talk
boss.
about let's talk about the purchase and how they're
Okay.
going to do that and when it's going to be
Okay.
available.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, it will be available as soon as the podcast is live. And
Thursday, yeah.
yep, Thursday at 4. And so if you want to order any of these, if you go to the homepage of swancityyarns.com and scroll down to the What's New section, there will be 3 separate listings. A listing for the main colorway, the Yarn Over With Us, and then Linda's fave and Susie's glasses. And so what you can do is whichever ones you want, you go into that listing, and there are multiple bases available for purchase. You can buy a full skein or mini skeins. I don't think I have mini skeins available for this colorway, but for these two, you can buy them on just mini skeins if you want, like if you're wanting to do a sock set. So there are, like I said, multiple bases, 100 grams. I think, you've got your usual sock yarn, trusty sock, which is 75-25 merino nylon. And then you've got some fancier options. There's MCN, if you want a little cashmere in there. There's even a fluffy DK and a fluffy lace, which are alpaca-based yarns. Those are lovely and scrumptious. So those are available. Yes. And then also, so can I tell them about the discount code?
Oh yeah, go ahead. Yes, please.
So
Pre-order.
so they are on a pre-order basis for a couple of reasons. Pre-order, but they should, if you want them shipped, then they'll ship within about 2 weeks. But if you would like for them to be delivered to the Southern Comforts fiber market, then you can get the shipping knocked off. And you'll do that by entering the code SCFM, Southern Comforts Fiber Market, all in lowercase, just those 4 letters, SCFM. And that will knock off the shipping and let me know that you want it brought to the Southern Comforts Fiber Market, your order.
Okay.
And it's in the listing. It says if you'll order by July 31st, then you can have it brought to the Southern Comforts
Perfect.
Fiber
Which,
Market.
by the way,
Is
is
the
going to
7th.
be August 7th and 8th. It's a Friday and a Saturday, and Linda and I will be there on the 7th, on the Friday.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
And you also will get 15% off your entire order of these 3 yarns.
Yay. Thank
Yay,
you.
Thank you.
Of Yarn Over with us. And the code for that is simply Yarn Over, all one word, all lowercase. And
Okay.
just a little side note, I've noticed, nowadays on most websites, there's so many payment options. And a lot of them, if you have like PayPal or Amazon Pay, they do that right at the very front. But in order to enter your discount codes, you want to make sure you go to the checkout first. So don't just
Okay.
click on Amazon Pay or something like that before you've had a chance to enter your
Oh,
discount codes. So
that's
go to
good to
checkout,
know.
enter your codes. And of course, if you have any issues, you can always email me after the fact and I'll take care of it. And we'll get you.
Oh, this is
But-
exciting. So let me ask you this. Will you actually have this yarn like as part of your inventory in Charlotte if they didn't pre-order and they just want to buy some?
I will bring some. Yes, it'll be a little bit more limited. I won't have all the bases that are available in the pre-order. But yes, I will definitely be bringing some, especially
That's
sock
good.
sets and things like that if people
Yes.
want to come and see it.
And then for people who are, let's say, are you going to be attending any other like festivals in the month of August or
Yes.
even July that you'd have the yarn at?
Not in
no?
July, but in August, I will also be at Stitchburg, which is in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, at the end of August.
Pittsburgh.
Yeah, they call
Oh,
it
okay. Okay. So any of our Pennsylvania, and we do have some Pennsylvania
Yeah,
people.
we do.
So they might, okay, that's a good option to
Yeah.
know.
And I can even bring some. I'm doing the Alabama Fiber Fest in November this year too. So
Ooh.
and I
Well,
will
even
be
though our
there.
Makealong will be over, they might want the yarn after
They
seeing our
want the
Makealong.
yarn, yeah.
Oh, that is
that's
so
right. I forgot.
fun.
Yeah. So y'all got to tell about your make along.
Yeah, so that was part of the whole thing is we were thinking, let's do a make-along where you can make anything you want, knit or crochet. It just has to be with this yarn to qualify for the make-along, if you will. And then like we did with the ranunculus, we're going to have a fashion show and show everybody's projects and what they made with it, because you guys are way creative and I know there's going to be some really fun things. So we're just going to have a little make along, and we're going to now, Susie, what did we decide? I know we talked about it like just an hour ago, but it's through October 15th. So by October 15th, you have to finish your project, submit it, and we'll talk about it more
Yeah, we'll give
next
some more
recording.
details.
Because our next recording, we're going to talk about projects and ideas we have that you could make with this beautiful
Yes,
yarn.
and we've got a lot of neat things to suggest to you
Yeah, we do.
in knitting
and so,
crocheting.
So you can start whenever you get your yarn, of course, but we're going to cut it off for submission October 15th so that by the next time we record, we can do our fashion show. So yeah, it'll be really fun. And we're going to have Heather. I really need to learn to do it, but Heather's doing it for us. God bless her. Start a forum on our Ravelry group. And so as you're, moving along with your project, you can show it and just show us where you're at. But if you want to be on the video, fashion show, you'll want to submit it, but we'll get to that later. We don't need to get too deep in the weeds about that one. So how fun. It's going to be very exciting, I think.
Yeah. It was very fun to do. Y'all have great colors and yeah.
Yeah.
We're
Well,
excited.
thank you
I
so
can't
much.
wait to get it on my needles.
I know. I have 2 projects in mind. So, I probably will make them both since I'm wrapping up other projects. I'll have room in my in my repertoire. So I'm very excited.
I'm definitely going to make a pair of socks, and I've got another project that I am looking at that think I have decided that I'm going to do and of course I'll share that our next episode.
Next
But I'm
episode.
looking forward to that. Hey, Carolyn, I have a quick question too, along the base of finding out about you. How long have you knitted, and when did you start knitting?
So it wasn't that long before I started dyeing yarn. I think it was back in like 2016. I had been wanting to learn for a while, but I was so busy all the time with homeschooling, and I worked a part-time job. And so, but it finally occurred to me that it God wasn't just going to take away my responsibilities, that if I really wanted to learn how to knit, I was just going to have to dedicate some time to it. So I remember that year, I think it was right after Christmas, that lull week that you get right between Christmas and New Year. And so we were taking a break from homeschooling. And so I got some yarn. I think it was from Hobby Lobby, because I didn't even know
I
what,
know, I didn't either when I
yeah.
started. I didn't understand about fibers, and I have a neat story. A friend of mine who I knit with, and we attend the same church, she was sharing with me that years ago, before her mother passed away, and her mother unfortunately passed away of breast cancer, but she was a knitter. And she, after her mother passed away, in going through things and getting things of her mom's, Teresa's mom had a blanket that had 4 different panels that you knit, and she was knitting it with a creamy color yarn. And so she had all the yarn, had the pattern, had finished the first panel completely, and had completed the second panel halfway before she passed away. And so Teresa didn't know how to really knit. In fact, years later, I met her at Hobby Lobby. She started taking a class there that I was teaching, and ended up attending our church. And so now we go to church together. And she told me about that years ago, that was one of the reasons why she wanted to learn how to knit, I think, is because she would love to pick up that project that her mom had started, and she wanted to complete that project. So we were at church Sunday, and she said, "Susie, do you remember me telling you about that blanket that my mama, had started before she passed away?" I said, "Yeah, I do remember." I said, "Are you going to finish it now?" She said, "Susie, I was looking at it," and she said she had all of the balls of yarn, that was needed, and so the ones that she hadn't started using still had labels on them. And she said, "I turned it over to look at it, because now, of course, I am educated on fiber and what fiber is, and who makes it, and the quality of fiber, and all of that." She said, "I turned that yarn over," and she said, "You will never believe who made that yarn." And I said, "Who?" She said, "Amoco." I said, "Like Amoco gas station? Amoco oil?"
What?
She said, "Yes." She said that yarn was made by Amoco. This was back when acrylic yarn made this big splash, and people started knitting and crocheting with acrylic yarn, and Amoco made this yarn. And she said, when I
That's
checked about, she
crazy.
said, so I started kind of researching it. She said, "Did you know that yarn has a very, very, I don't know if I'm going to say this right. In other words, it will melt very quickly when heat
Oh,
hits
it's all
it."
petroleum.
Yes.
Yeah.
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 And
Plastic.
she said, actually, it would really be dangerous
Yeah.
to have that. She said it would catch and melt very quickly if heat, was like around any type of heat or fire or anything like that. I said, "So you're not going to finish it?" She said, "No, because she said, "I'm not going to knit with that fiber." She said, "But I'll tell you what I am going to do." She said, "The panel that my mom had completely finished," she said it was had some cabling in it. It was a really pretty piece that she had finished. She said, "My husband," which he is great with wood and crafting and do it. And in fact, he made her a swift, a handmade swift, and it's beautiful. Wow. But she said that Rick, her husband, is going to make a shadow box, and she's going to stretch that panel into a shadow box and hang it in her craft room. So
Yeah.
that's the end of the story. But I thought that was so interesting, you know,
Yeah.
that Amico made fiber, but you know, we're learning, you know, and I have learned through the last decade about fiber and where it comes from, and you know, the fibers that you knit and crochet with. But I thought that was just an amazing little story.
Yeah.
And so yeah, so we learn about fiber and how important it is to choose the really good stuff.
Yeah.
And it's
I am becoming snobby about it all. I mean, because when I wear, I mean, it just feels so good to wear real fibers, whether it be
fiber.
cotton, linen, or of course, you know, animal fibers of any sort, but they just feel so much better. And listen, you don't stink. There's something in plastic that reacts with humans that is not good.
the chemistry.
It is.
Yeah,
It's a chemistry thing.
And I think there's times that we knit with fiber that's not, you know, real
wanna wear
fiber or fiber blends. But because I know that when I knit baby blankets, I
Yeah.
think about the, you know, the new
Wash.
mom, and she doesn't have time to do hand washing and air drying and things. I mean, she's barely being able to eat, you know. It's like, oh Lord, don't give me something that's got to be hand washed.
Yeah.
So then, you know, it's like there's a place for that. I love to do blends at that point where that it's a super wash wool that can be, you know, like gentle wash and air dry. So there's places for that. And, you know, sometimes a project is so big as far as how many yards of yarn you need that maybe you might have to, you know, cheat a little bit and add some man-made fiber in there. So there's places for that. But I was talking to my husband last night, and I am making him a pair of socks, and I didn't tell him that the pair that I was making was for him. And so I finished one sock, and I carried it to him last night. I said, here, slip this on. He said, who's this for? And I said, it's for you. He said, me? You needed me a pair of socks? I said, well, only one's done. I said, I want you to try it on. If it don't fit you, it's going to go to another foot it fits, you know. And so he tried it on, and he said, it is perfect. It is perfect. And he said, and the color is wild. You know, my husband's a pastor. And so, you know, the last pair of socks I knitted him, he called them his Sunday socks, and he wore them every Sunday till he wore a hole in them. I didn't realize there was a hole. I said, you don't let a hole wear in there, you let me know so I can fix it before there's a real hole. That he said, am I supposed to wear this wild socks with my suits? I said, oh, it'll be so snazzy. I will love seeing those socks under your suit pants. But
I love to knit wild socks for my husband.
I love it. And I said, you know that you can wear these many times before they have to be washed. Yes. And so he was very excited. So it's neat. You can wear socks. If you wear, you know, a full or 100% fiber sock, especially if it's wool, you can wear it over and over again before you have to even think about washing it.
Yeah,
so
I know. It is
hard
wonderful.
to believe that.
So Carolyn, what is your favorite thing to knit?
So, well, speaking of socks, I typically almost always have a pair of socks on the needle. I say almost always because right now I'm knitting a shawl, which I don't knit a ton of shawls, and so that's kind of taken the place of a sock. But I've got 2 pairs of socks that I need to be knitting. Bo has requested another pair, and then it's time for me to knit my sister-in-law another pair. So I almost always have socks on the needles, and then I usually have a garment. I love to knit tops. So tops and socks.
Is that top you're wearing? Is that one that you've knitted? It is beautiful. I love it. I've been admiring it.
This is the head top by Katarina. I wrote it down just in case Katarina Lindhagen is her name, but it's the head top.
I love it.
1.5 skeins or something like that. Yeah.
So is it short waisted? Is it a short waisted?
I made it short waisted, and I didn't even put a hem on it because I knew that I wanted to tuck it into high waisted pants. And
Okay.
so, yeah, so I deliberately
I
made it.
love the color. Is it blue or gray?
I love the,
It's blue.
Yeah.
This is called, it's a colorway that I have called Hiberna. But
Oh,
this particular fiber blend,
nice.
which I don't dye anymore, is 50% cotton. So it's 50% cotton, 50% wool. And so it kind of takes on a heathered look. So that's why.
love
Okay.
it.
I
Love
love
it.
the cable neckline. That is a
Yeah.
cable, isn't it? Or
No,
is it a
it just
rib?
looks like
Oh
it.
no,
It's
it
just a
looks
rib.
like a cable. It's a
Yeah.
rib. And I love the little the short sleeves, but they're
Yeah.
dropped over your shoulder a little bit. So
Yeah.
how was that knitted? What was the construction of that?
Well, I think oh gosh, you would ask me that. If I remember
Was it two
correctly,
panels or or
no,
you do it in the
she,
round?
it was definitely knit in the round, but I'm trying to remember. I think because of the way the shoulder is, she may have had you put some stitches on hold, like for the back, and then you did the shoulder of one side and then came back and did the other shoulder. But then you do join it in the round, of course. If I remember, it's been so long since I knit this one.
I really like that.
I like
Thank
it
you.
too.
It was super
Yeah.
simple, I have to say. Like it was quick and easy, and
And
yeah,
was it a fingering weight? Is that a
yep,
fingering weight yarn?
yeah,
Oh,
finger.
more fingering weight, Linda.
Yeah, but
Linda told me this
yeah.
week, she said,
You know,
remind me, I don't want to do any more fingering
Uh,
weight sweaters.
but you know what? This sweater I'm finishing up here is fingering. And I thought, I forgot which camping trip I started it. Um, and I was thinking I started it in, well, not even camping trip. I was thinking I started it in May, but I started it in June. So it's really not been that long, really. So then I didn't feel as bad. But yeah, fingering just takes me so long because I'm a very slow knitter apparently. And but it's not hateful. I mean, if it takes me a month to knit a sweater, I'm okay with that.
yeah.
You
Oh, I
know.
And the
think
thing
that's
is,
good.
DK and worsted weight, yes, they go faster, but they're also warmer. So, which is great if
Yeah.
you live
Yeah,
in
not.
cold weather. But fingering just lays nicer and is better for summertime, you know?
Well, and something like that, you live in Florida. We also live in the South. Of course, we get colder than you, but you could put a jacket over that. You could put anything. You could
Oh,
wear that
that
all year
is,
round.
I
Yeah.
You
know
Well,
know.
all year round you could wear that. I absolutely love it.
thanks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So do you English knit or continental knit?
I mostly English knit. I have tried to switch over to continental because I know it's faster, but there's something so soothing to me about that motion that it's like if I start a project and start doing continental, like I miss that flicking with my writing.
Yeah.
So I've never stuck through a whole project. And I know my tension is very fickle and will change at the drop of a hat. So I know if I
Mine too.
switch, I'm going to have to pick a project and do the whole thing continental. But I like doing
You
English.
know, I like them both. I love the movement of English knitting, but I love the how fast I can continental knit. And I tend to do socks because I use the 9-inch circulars for the
Mhm.
leg and for the foot. And when I do that, I English knit because those 9-inch circulars are harder for me to do continental knitting with for some reason. It's
Yeah.
just me. I guess how I hold my needles. But I love doing socks because I kind of do both. I
Yeah.
do double points for the cuff, and then when I go to the leg and foot, I'm on the 9-inch circular. But when I do the heel flap and gusset, I'm back to the double point. So then I'm continental. I'm continental knitting, but my gauge is different. So I
Oh,
have to
yeah.
go down for double points, and I have to go up for 9-inch circular because my gauge is tighter on the 9-inch circular and looser on the double points. So
I can see
I'm pinging back and forth to keep the gauge the same because of the different needles.
that. Yeah.
But I love it both. I love English and continental.
That's
You know,
I'm
and
impressed that you're able
I
to do it.
heard that because that knitters and crocheters, we're having to use both sides of our brains, so it is very healthy for our brains what we're doing. Very
Yeah,
healthy.
Oh, it is. It
true. You
is
build
for
new
sure.
neural pathways, they say, every time you do
Yeah.
something that you're not
I
accustomed to
learned
doing.
something this week about the hippocampus, which is
Yeah.
dual parts of the brain in the frontal lobe, and that this type of stuff helps to grow your hippocampus. I hope I'm saying that right. It can always grow new cells and grow new life, and as we keep that active, we fight issues with dementia, Alzheimer's, things like
Oh.
that. So
I snapped a
Yeah.
photo that I saw on Instagram about this very thing. It says it can support emotional regulation. Studies suggest knitting may help with emotional self-control and encourage a steadier, calmer state of mind. Yes.
yes.
It can help keep your mind active over time, which really, an empty mind is usually dangerous anyway. Following
You know
patterns.
what my mama used to always say about an empty mind? It is the devil's workshop.
Oh yeah, yeah, yes. So keep your mind busy with something else,
Keep it
right?
busy.
Yeah.
It can help interrupt unhealthful habits, mostly eating, because your hands are busy.
That's right.
You can't snack.
Kinda
No
hard to
Cheetos
eat.
happening when we're knitting.
Right.
Right.
And what is this adjust? No, I don't want to adjust it. It just went away. And it supports overall mental well-being. Creative activities like knitting have been linked to reduced stress that is often associated with the brain's feel-good chemical dopamine and serotonin. So there you go. This
Yep.
is my support. What would it be? My support activity. I don't need an animal. I need knitting.
It's your brain medicine. It's your brain
There you
medicine.
go. Oh man. We did forget to also mention one thing, and that is Carolyn is donating 2 giveaways for our 2-year anniversary, which we will do when Susie's here at my house. We're going to record where it all began, our first recording. And so thank you, Carolyn. So we will mention it again when we actually give them away and all of that next week. We're going to have to, we just had to work on this week, and now we'll work on the next time we record. Oh my goodness. Well, this is so fun. Is there anything else we need to talk about, ladies?
That's it for me.
I think we've covered it all.
And I'll just wrap up saying, don't forget to watch and subscribe Carolyn Swan City Yarns YouTube, which all of this stuff is down in the description. And don't forget to like and share our Yarn Circle podcast if you like it, which I hope you do. You're still here. And don't forget to join our Ravelry. So anyway, we will be back next time showing some pattern ideas we have for this beautiful yarn. Show it again, Carolyn. The Yarn Over With Us colorway, and Susie's glasses, and Linda's fave. So there you go. All righty,
We
everybody.
love it.
Well, that's
Thank you so much, Carolyn.
yes.
All for
Yes.
having
Thank
me.
you. Thank you. All righty. Well, we'll see you next time. Bye bye.